Every day after school, 800 kids in Trenton go to a Boys and Girls Club. I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast's Local Edition. With me this hour is Russ White of the Boys and Girls Club of Trenton and Mercer County. Thanks so much for being with us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Talk to us a little bit about the Boys and Girls Club and some of the people that you actually serve in Trenton and the surrounding area.
Okay. The Boys and Girls Club primarily serves the children of Trenton with their after-school programs. Currently, 800 children every day go to a Boys and Girls Club facility after school. They play games, basketball, work on the computers, get tutoring. It's a very constructive use of their time. It's just a terrific program. The Boys and Girls Club of Trenton is one of many Boys and Girls Clubs in the U.S., but it's certainly one of the more interesting ones and challenging ones, and one that I'm happy to be a volunteer working for to raise money for the organization. Why
is it so important to get these kids engaged, especially in the after-school hours?
Well, it's a time for them to get in trouble, for one reason. Another reason, it can be a very constructive time, out of the classroom and in a different environment. To me, it's that bridge between, say, 3 o'clock and 5:30 when the parents come home is a very critical time for these kids, and it can be a very constructive time, or it can be a very destructive time. And the Boys and Girls Club in Trenton basically provides that bridge between school and home when the parents, especially with both parents working or with single mother households where there's no adult home if the kids go home directly.
It takes a lot of money to provide for all of these kids in Trenton. One of the ways in which you do that is through a bike exchange program. Tell us a little bit about the mission of this program, because it's really a twofold mission.
That's right. The Boys and Girls Club Bike Exchange is a new activity. We were only a month old. And the fundamental missions of the club are, first of all, to provide funding for, or some funding for the Boys and Girls Club in Trenton. And the second objective is to help low-income families purchase bicycles that they could not purchase otherwise. And the way the exchange works is people donate their bikes that they have in their basements and garages that they no longer use. There are tens of thousands of bikes in people's basements and garages. In Mercer County alone, they're not being used. In your viewing area, I'm sure there are hundreds of thousands of bikes in basements and garages that are no longer being used, either because they bought a new bike or because their child has outgrown the old bike. People don't want to trash the bike at the curb because they love their old bike. So it's nice to be able to give it to the Boys and Girls Club Bike Exchange, get a tax deduction in the process, and free up some space in the basement and garage. What
actually happens to the bikes once they are donated? Because I know many of us have those bikes in our garage. They're not in top condition.
Right. Well, we have 30 volunteers from the Freewheelers Bike Club in Princeton who condition the bikes and put them in good working order and safe order, and then we sell them from our shop in Capitol Plaza. So all the workers of the Boys and Girls Club, including me, are volunteers. The space that we use, we have a 6,000 square foot shop, which is perhaps the biggest bike shop in the county. It has been donated by 11 Management, which owns Capitol Plaza Shopping Center in Ewing. So we condition the bikes at the shopping center, and we sell them from our shop there. And as I said, virtually all the money goes to the Boys and Girls Club because we're volunteers and because the space is donated. We also, in the last 3 weeks, we sold probably 60 or 70 bikes, ranging in price from $20 to $80 or $90, so people can buy a good bike, in most cases as good as new, really, except for some scratches, for 1/4 to 1/5 of the price of a new bike.
So really an opportunity to give to the Boys and Girls Club and in turn give to the community at large to help people with things like exercise, getting on a bike and getting their child equipped to actually ride their bicycle.
And to commute.
Okay, that's a good point as well. People can actually come out and buy these bikes. Tell us exactly where you're located if people want to either donate or purchase.
We are at Capitol Plaza Shopping Center, which is 1500 North Olden Avenue in Ewing. It's kind of at the intersection of Ewing and Lawrenceville and Trenton. It's a very large shopping center. More information can be at our website, which is bikeexchangenj.org.
All right, thanks so much, Russ. We've been talking with Russ White. I'm Jill Horner for Comcast Local Edition.